when I was in high school, I made a comic book called Heartbound, which was a choose your own adventure comic book. I wanted to make a comic that had a bunch of different routes where you could choose the way that you wanted to go, and I wanted it to be like kind of a lot, right? And it was cool, but it like wasn't really as big as I wanted it to be. So one day I was like, I'm going to make a video game. And I started working this game, which was Heartbound, and we released a demo for it. The demo did insanely well. And then we put it up on Steam Greenlight because we thought like, oh yeah, you know, Steam Greenlight was the way to get on Steam back in the day. And if I go to post images here, let me go see if I can find this. Should be under PirateSoftware, Heartbound, and then PR thing. Here we go. If we look at this, this is all of the votes on Steam Greenlight at the time. This is every other game in the world, and this was Heartbound. It got rank 1 pretty much instantly. It exploded like nothing anyone had seen before. So it's like, oh, we've got something that works really well. We got greenlit in about, I think it was 11 days, and it just exploded onto the internet. And a large part of that was because of Brazil. People loved the game in Brazil. They loved the demo, and the demo was free, so a lot of people latched onto it. We got a ton of fan art, massive amount. We started showing it off at conventions. The game started getting bigger and bigger, and it was just kind of amazing. So eventually we did a Kickstarter because I was like, well, maybe we can make the game. It's going to cost a little bit of money. I don't make a lot of money. You know, I was working at Blizzard at the time, and we did the Kickstarter. It got 385% funded. It was fully funded in the first 24 hours. It exploded, right? So we're like, oh, what if we make this game way bigger? So I started doing that. And I started making it way bigger, and I started streaming all the development and showing everything off. And I think that's when the moment happened for me where I was like, this has got to be a thing. Stretch goals? No. We're like, I'm going to make the game. And people were like, I want more. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to start doing this. Yeah. Like, I'm just going to start doing this and just go crazy. So Brazil is where you are why you are where you are today? Absolutely. Without Brazil, we wouldn't exist. Brazil is the reason our studio exists. It's also 25% of our overall income from game sales, even though it's 60% off in Brazil. Brazil made our studio happen. Like, I owe everything to Brazil, man. In fact, I owe everything to Brazil to a point where I did this. This is hidden in the game files. It's a thank you to Cordas Antigas, who was the major Brazilian content creator that covered our game in the beginning. And it's a thank you to the people of Brazil. And that's the whole point for it. I have a bunch of stuff hidden in here. A ton of stuff like this. And our wouldn't exist without Brazil, man. Yeah, translate it. I don't even remember what it says. I know it's a thank you to Brazil. It's a long time ago, man. But like, this is kind of the route that I've gone for all this stuff. And my whole intention for the game was to add weird interactions, to make it something that is complex, something that is personal, and not really give a shit if people are upset that it didn't come out yet. I never gave a shit about that. And it's not that I don't give a shit about like a paying customer. It's that I'm not going to sacrifice the unique nature of the game because someone wants it now, if that makes sense. And so no matter how many times people are like, I need this now, I'll be like, cool, that's fine. There's a misspelled word on that text? There might be. It was done by our original Brazilian Portuguese translator. I'm not going to change it though. I'm just going to leave it there. But yeah, like I don't want to sacrifice that. And I've never done that. I've never sacrificed it. So I take my time. I make sure it's done correctly. I do all the things that I want to do with it. And I make sure that it's efficient enough to run on ass computers. As a Brazilian myself, I'm happy that we found you and gave you the love you deserve. You guys did more than that. Let me show you something. The reason that we knew that Brazil cared so much was because of this. Grand majority of this fan art is from Brazil. You guys sent us tens of thousands of pieces of fan art. It's wild, dude. This is just the first 1,000 pieces that we received. There are tens of thousands. There were people who cosplayed the characters. There's people who like did all kinds of stuff, man. Stuff out of woodworking and leatherworking, all just fan fictions and all kinds of shit. It's wild. It's completely wild. Massive amount of stuff. So like, yeah, man, Brazil put us on the map.